So today we're gonna bring you kind of like a test and I don't know, like a review video. I don't even know what to call it. But as you guys know, if you've watched the videos before, I am super cheap. Like many people on YouTube, I'm somewhat of a troll. So I troll around on Amazon looking for stuff all the time. And really the things that I focus on Amazon, a lot of these reels that we use are made in China. Let's just be perfectly frank. So they're pretty kind of like mass-produced kinds of things. And a lot of products straight out of China are available on Amazon. So I like cutting out the middleman sometimes and trying to get something that's super great price point. So one day trolling around on Amazon, and I'll put links in the description box and all that, I found these guys. Sugaling. I know I'm not saying that right. These guys are 2 spinning reels. Now, I'm gonna put a disclaimer on this video right off the bat. I will not buy super cheap casting reels. I might buy like 1 or 2 for just general purpose use, but my experience has been super cheap casting reels across the board pretty much suck. And usually it relates to like the break or the drag. Like you'll fry the drag if you put a braid on it, you'll fry the drag if you like try to fish in grass and stuff, or that break will be the most, like dude, literally you'll make 2 casts like perfect. You're like hitting exactly what you want, and then all of a sudden you'll make another cast and the whole thing will blow up into the most giant ugly freaking bird's nest you've ever seen in your life. I'm sure you guys have had the same experience. Spinning reels, on the other hand, you can go a little cheap. Now, I'm not saying if you're fishing 4 to 6 pound test, like fishing for smallies, you can't, because you need the perfect drag system, and that's where they kind of cut back on the spinning reels is the drag. But let me get to the point, because this is what's gonna blow your mind. Guess how much this one is? Guess. $16.99. Dude, that's $16.99. Get 16, it's a 2,500 spinning reel. $16.99. And this one I think is $24.99. It's got the big fat I think you're getting the point immediately. These things are super cheap, and I need some utility spinning reels. They don't have to have perfect drag. They don't need to be perfect. I just need them for, you know, maybe not drop shotting, but like Nico rigging, maybe for throwing like a bait that you reel, maybe like a jerk bait or something like that. And usually I'm fishing 8 to 10 pound fluorocarbon leaders on 12 pound braid. So yes, I need to be a little bit careful, but not like 4 to 6 pound careful. But we're gonna take these guys and we're gonna put them on my Halo 7-foot TI medium and my 7.3 Halo daylight. We're gonna go out and we're gonna test the drags on them. We're gonna test how they reel, how they feel, how they perform. Do they hold up? Do they work? Stay tuned. Let's find out. Let's do this deal, bro. Found some fish mixed up with some brim. You can see there's a bunch of brim down there, a bunch of bait, and then the brighter dots, like that one right there, are all they're all bass. So let's give these reels a shot and see kind of how they perform. So we're gonna start off with the $24, $25 reel. I looked actually at the specs on it. It is 13 bearings plus 1, so it's like got a roller bearing, but that's just not real. So we'll just say 13 bearings. But we're gonna give this one a try. I got a Ned on the end right there. You know, I just want to get some bites. I want to test this thing out. So let's get to it. Fish on. Solid. You know, it's surprisingly, like, the drag worked kind of decent, dude. She just sucked it right up. I kind of like this EVA handle too. I'm a little surprised. Not a big one, but she kind of ate it like there's a bunch of them down there. All right, guys, let's try this $16.99. I got a Nico rig on here. I don't know if I have a heavy enough weight. Well, let's give her a shot. Same setup. I think it's like 8 or 10 pound fluorocarbon with 14 pound braid. Fish on. It's funny because the drag almost feels better on this one. This is the cheaper reel, and the drag's just a hair smoother. But dude, it reels like pretty smooth. Come on in here. I want my worm. I want my worm. Whoa, that is. Now, guys, that is one sad. Guys, that is one sad looking fish. fish. We're gonna let her go. Poor guy. See you later. So this is the cheaper $16.99. It has the same solid kind of like bail opener. I feel pretty comfortable with that. It's actually like decent quality. I kind of like these style handles. They're a little more like the Shimano's, a little bit more. That EVA is nice, and maybe it's because I'm not used to it, but I do like this. It's very grippy, the rubbery thing, and I like the little smaller handles. It's just, I might slip sometimes and miss them, but it's more comfortable for my hands. Just a personal thing. Oh, the drag's working. Might be working a little too well. It's a little bit chunky. It's not, whoa. It's not super even like I like it to be. It's not terrible. It's like a 3-pounder, but it's not perfect either. I'll be perfectly honest. And this is the $25 reel, and that's just on that net head. You can kind of hear how it worked right there. Nice. You can see it. It's slow to start though. Once it starts, it's pretty even, but like that first pull, it takes a little jerk to get it started. Well, Mother Nature decided to call a little pause on our reel review. Guys, we're gonna go hide from this big old storm that's about to go through. I think it should be pretty quick, but we're gonna get back out here and get testing these reels. But maybe it'll turn the fish on. Kinda usually does. Come on, bass. I know you're down there. You guys see the bass? That is a bass. He is under the boat. I want him right there. I think I might have the drag set a little. Oh dear. I think we got a big one, guys. Oh my God, guys. Oh dear, this drag better freaking work. Oh dear. Oh dear. That is a giant. So this is a good test this is the $25 reel. This is a good test for the drag and kind of how it holds up against the decent fish. I mean, it doesn't need to do much. It is spinning tackle, but she just sucked it up. She was down there eating brim, dude, and I got this little tiny hook on here. It's gonna be a quick minute. Drag's pretty smooth, but it's slow to get started on this more expensive one, man. That's the only thing. Oh no, don't do that. Oh God, look at that thing. Look at that thing. Oh God, come here. Come here. Oh, thank you. Oh, Nelly. Who says little baits don't catch fish? Wow, she's barely hooked. Guys, how about that? How about that? Well, guys, maybe Mother Nature doesn't hate me. Maybe that storm was a blessing in disguise, because we just caught this. Caught her on the $25 one. Drag is a little bit slow, and we're gonna talk about that at the end. But overall, dude, once like I got her on there and got the drag kind of adjusted, it worked pretty well. 25 bucks, dude. And I do like that EVA handle. It gave me a lot of control, and I never slipped up. It's that guy right there. I never slipped up. Like sometimes when you get a big fish on a spinning reel, you're like reeling and you're kind of like holding, and then you miss the handle. Get her released. All right, come here, honey. It's like a 6.5, 7. Look at that thing. Nice and gentle. I'll let you go back down. I know you came out of super deep water, and I want you to go. Yeah, you go swim. She goes swims. We test our reel. Life is good, right? Rain. Lots of it. I told you Mother Nature doesn't like me. Nature did not cooperate with us, but that's fine. I think we got the reels tested pretty decent. Yeah, they're cheap. Like, I don't even know any way other way to put it. They're cheap. They are. And they act like cheap reels, but they also act like halfway decent reels. Because a lot of these, like, higher price point, like $50 to $80 reels, they're like the same as those. They are. So here's what quick fishing story. I don't know how much of the video I actually got. It started storming out there. Mother Nature does not like my reel reviews. Dude, I lost a 7, a 5, and I hooked one. I couldn't even move, dude, on that little 1/4 ounce net. You know what I did? I put an O-Beast on there, and I think part of it was the drag, but part of it, see how the hook doesn't have a huge amount of bite with that thing? I think part of it was, dude, like with the wind blowing, I was pulling on them too hard, and you know, they don't have that hook much. And that drag kind of was a little bit chunky, and it popped out, dude. The one that didn't move, I'd have liked to seen her. Like all the other ones, the 7 came up, and I saw it next to the boat. The 5 came up. I think I got a little video on the Hero 7 because it's waterproof. But dude, the one, I just went like that. Wasn't snagged. It bit. It went. Oh, I reeled up, set the hook, and it just went. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Those are the kind of fish you want to catch, and I didn't catch her. Let's talk these reels. Let's talk these reels, boy. Let's talk about these reels, guys. So let's talk about the expensive one first. This one is the $25 one. So this is ironically the one that I like the least. It looks the coolest, and I'll use it. I'm not a huge fan of that EVA foam deal. It's just a little too big for me, and there's something about it I just don't like. And the other thing is the drag on this joker is a little bit chunky. It starts off like you really got to pull on it. Once it gets started, it's pretty smooth, but it's a little clunky drag. Casting, spool-wise, everything else is pretty sweet. It's pretty light, and it looks, I mean, dude, I hate to be that guy, but it looks freaking cool. So this is the irony, is the cheapo is the one that I actually like. This guy, I actually like that handle with that knob a little bit more. That's a little bit more comfortable for me. It has that rubber kind of grippage on it. I like that. It doesn't last as long, but you tend to be able to grab it a little bit better. Once again, you know, casting, the spool control or the spool flip is super smooth. The reel itself, they're both made out of carbon fiber. They're both pretty light, and they're pretty comfortable in your hand. They're a little bit more like old school classical kind of like shaping. But the thing is, with this one, the cheap one, the drag was a bit smoother. The only thing I'm wondering though is, you know, with like any like cheap kind of mass production kind of low end deal, you know, you buy 3 of them and 2 of them are like good and 1 of them is bad. So the only thing I'm wondering about is this one isn't bad, it's just not as good as that one. So I'm wondering if I bought like 15 of each, if there'd be like a percentage that would be chunky on both of them, you know. But overall, here's the deal: for $16.99 and $25.99, like, I'm gonna give it a rating of 8 out of 10. Now that's based on price point and quality. Now they're not super nice reels, but dude, I can buy like a new one every 6 months for that price point, and I'll still be cheaper than half the like spinning reels out there, like the general entry level to mid level spinning reels. They're not Stradics. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that. Don't, you know, go and be like, bro, they're not Stradics. They're utility reels. And when I say utility reels, like, this is the kind of reel like I'd throw maybe like a fluke on, you know, a little weightless fluke, you know, something like that. Maybe a jerk bait, something like that. Moving baits, you know, not super sensitive stuff. I don't know if I'd use it on, like, you know, my Ned. Actually, that's a good example. I don't know if it's perfect like Ned reel, but something a little more utility that's your like just reeling. I think it'd be pretty good for. Or if you guys do like some bank fishing or something after work and you need just kind of like a junk rod or a rod that you can leave in the back of your truck or something, dude, I would care less if somebody stole a $16.99 spinning reel. Like, that's the way you do it. Or even for like brim fishing or something, because they make them in all different sizes, by the way. I think I forgot to mention that. These are the 2500 size, but they make them in smaller and larger sizes, I believe. Bog, you want to say hello? Oh, it's how. Whoa, I'm sorry you didn't get to go fishing today. So Bog says hello to you guys. I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. If you got any questions on the reels, I'm going to put links to the stuff we used, as well as the reels at Amazon and the stuff we used at Tackle Warehouse, down in the description box. So feel free to check it out. If you got any questions though, hit me up. I don't know everything. I tell you that all the time, but I really don't. But I'm happy to help with what I do know, which is that much. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys supporting the videos. I know I'm all like washed up and freaking been doing this for like 10 years, but I love making the videos and you guys watching them and your positive comments. It really, dude, it puts a smile on my face and it gets me motivated to get back out there. So I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. We will catch you next time out fishing. Of course, it stops raining now. Thank you, Mother Nature. Give her the finger for me. Peace.